What's up, everybody? Mattisfaction here, and today we're checking out the Orlock. This was designed by some of our good friends. Terry, he designed this bad boy. 1931 Leatherworks is his Instagram. He also does some leather work. But he finally came out with a cool design. I kind of did an unboxing, but I really wanted to get into this thing. So just look at it, admire it for a minute. I'll read some specs. He actually typed out a lot of stuff for me. Well, the pass-around. This is a prototype. It's called the Orlock, named from or after Nosferatu. He likes the old horror stuff. Oh, I gotta do something real quick. Alright, sorry. So this is a prototype. And one of the issues this prototype's been having is the pivot walks. So when it goes into production, that probably won't be an issue, but it just is here. And I didn't tighten it, and it started headed towards that direction. But let's check it out. So overall length is 7 inches, and there are going to be some changes. This thing's actually going to get to be an inch longer for the production. It's got a 3 1/8 inch blade with 2 3/4 inch cutting edge. I don't know if that'll change. I don't know where the inch is going. And the weight on this is 4.45 ounces. So, that's the size and stuff. Variations. This one is going to be a raw tie with satin blade. Bronze anno scales with gold hardware with satin blades, black wash with blue clip, and blue backspacer, which is this one. And he thinks the cost will be $160, which ain't bad for a nice chunk of titanium. What is this steel? S35? I think it's S35. But here you go. Let's get a good look. There you go. So, this thing feels awesome in hand. It's very comfortable, and I think when it gets a little bit longer, it's going to feel even better. Let's do some size comparisons. Here you go. Go ahead and put this right there. Nice little slippy. A lot of people like slip joints. And, let's get a back lock in there. There we go. There you go. There's some size comparisons. So it's it's between these sizes. It's actually not bad. This thing actually is even smaller than the blade. I just wanted to pull this out any chance I get. All right, let's do a real size comparison, as it were. Here's an Osborne. So it's shorter than an Osborne, but production should be about the same length. Here we go. Roman's knife. Ugh. Oops. The Tucson TS380. But this is a big boy. And whatever this one is. I forgot what that's called, but it's pretty cool. But there you go. There's a couple of size comparisons. I could do this all day, but I won't. So here it is up against the Maxace OTF. Alright, I said I wouldn't, so let's go ahead and stop doing size comparisons right after we check it out with this bad boy. There you go. It's about that big. There we go. Yeah, so it's about that big. And you know what? Here's a knife a lot of people don't know about. There we go. So, there you go. Anyway, isn't that thing cool? But the Orlock. This thing was imagined in one of our friends' brains, and then he put it on paper. And then he took that paper to our boy Loot. Loot did some CAD work. Loot does amazing CAD work. And he took that CAD work, submitted it. They said yes, and now I'm holding a prototype. One of the flaws here is this pocket clip. Apparently, Loot's taking full blame, but Loot is innocent. Loot 10 techs. It's just a little miscommunication with the CAD work there. That's not how it's supposed to be. So there'll be a whole new clip on production. But, you know, Loot is innocent. Hashtag Loot is innocent. But, you know, this thing's got tie scales, hardware, cool backspacer. I like this black wash with the blue. It's not a bright blue either. It's a nice subtle, almost a blurple. Almost. It's also a front flipper, which I'm usually not very good at. But this one, you hear that? Sounds pretty good. It's a liner lock. So liner locks are cool because you can left-hand it. Well, most people. I'm useless with my left. But, I mean, you could do it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's just me not knowing what to do with this. I'm terrible. Yeah, but, I mean, with the right. There we go. Ergos are cool. One thing I thought was a nice touch is it's a harpoon, which I love because it gives you a place for your thumb. Boom. But he actually swedged that harpoon. He swedged it. That's pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of harpoon knives out there, and usually you don't see such a cool swedge. So I like that. That's pretty neat. I like the blade shape. Kind of curves up to this point instead of, you know, being straight across. And, you know, this is going to be good for cutting. I haven't cut anything with this. He said I could cut paper. So I'm going to cut some paper. Let me find some. In by paper, we mean index cards. So, you know, it's sharp. You kind of hope that a knife from the factory would come paper cutting sharp. But I bet you someone like Mr. Kyle could put a really nice edge on here. But the blade is nice and thin, so it's slicey. Looks like a full flat. By the way, if you guys don't know the trick, if you don't know the difference between a flat and a hollow, you could take a piece of paper, hold it up to the blade. If you don't see any space, then it's a flat. But if you do, let's see if I have a hollow somewhere. Was this a hollow? That doesn't really look like one, but we could test it. Yep, that's not a hollow. Let me find a hollow so I could show you. Alright, I found this hunk of junk lying around. I know it's a hollow, so you could put that there, and you see that space? That's how you know you got a hollow, because it curves like a bowl. So sometimes you get a knife that's very shallow. I got one that's, you know, very obviously hollow. Even just looking at it, you can kind of see the way the light reflects. Helps give it away. Laser beams. But yeah, so I mean, I just sidetracked. But let's put this bad boy away. Shout out to Orion Knives for making these awesome cases. You can get one for 15 bucks. These things are my favorite. But the Orlock is awesome. So flat grind on this bad boy. Ergos are comfortable. The pocket clip does not dig in there. I can feel it. But, I mean, you're going to do that on any knife. You're going to know it's there. The choil feels good. And I believe another change you said is going to happen is the hole is not so much lined up with this groove. So I believe he's either going to move the groove, which I don't know if that's possible, being so close to the pivot, but he might move the hole down or extend it to line it up. But maybe when it's an inch longer, we'll see. It is reversible pocket clip, and I think it's cool that he kept it so shallow, so you don't got that just like hole that sometimes shows up, especially on a G10 knife. So that's actually quite nice. Man, that blue does look good though, don't it? We got some jumps right here. You got yourself 4 jumps for that front flipper, which gives you that good action. But I mean, just take a second. Look at that. Look at that. Look at his logo. I'm just so proud of Terry. He worked hard on this. I was witnessing the whole process. And that feeling you get when something goes from a piece of paper to something in your hands, it's a rare feeling. And things usually just start out as like a little sketch, like working out blade shapes or something, finding something you like. Just a little sketch. I mean, most of it's garbage your first time, but you figure out something that sticks, and you end up with something cool. And Terry did that, and pretty soon, everyone will be able to purchase one of these bad boys. Real quick, he's got weight relief inside there. Looks like it's got probably some stainless liners in there. So they hollowed out the titanium, threw some stainless steel in there, milled it out. It's pretty hefty for its size, which I actually appreciate. I like a heavy knife, but I also like a light knife. They all have their purpose. But I think Terry did an awesome job. I couldn't be more proud of him. The little nitpicks I had, they're gonna get fixed. Pocket clip. The pivot walking, that's probably not gonna be there on production. They usually take care of that. Prototype is just something that, like, here's your knife. Go see if you want to make changes to ergos or size, which is exactly what he's doing. That's why you get a prototype. It doesn't necessarily have to function the best. You just need to check it out. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so pocket clip's going to be different. It's going to be longer. The hole will be lined up with this. And I think the ergos is only going to get better. I think if it's an inch longer, if this moves back, I mean, my fat fingers should fall into it a little better. As you can see, I kind of just go halfway in. That's what she said. But it's a cool knife. I really like it. Terry, I'm so proud of you. Man, it's so cool. I want this feeling for everybody. If you have something in your mind, get it out there. Let me put this bad boy away before someone gets hurt. But there you have it. This is the Orlock. I freaking love it. Concept did good. Terry did excellent. I love it. I love it. I love when the liners are on the inside like that. I have big hands, so I won't be pushing on the lock bar, squeezing it. But Terry, you did awesome. Proud of you, buddy. But alas, I must send it off. So I shall. But until next time, that's Lancelot Leather. I blew my exit, so doses.